How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
I'm gonna read a excerpt from a novel I'm working on, part of my thesis that I turned in last May when I graduated. It's about two girls in the city and their adventures in urban botany. Allie. Walking through the park on a sunny day, a glint captured Allie's attention under a small shrubbery. She crouched down on all fours, the toes of her black fried boots, as well as her knees in the wet dirt, and crawled into the bushes toward a shining point, still beckoning to her from the dark earth. Allie dug with her fingers and unearthed a cylindrical glass bottle tinted yellow from time. She held it upside down and drained mud from its neck and crawled backwards out from the shrubbery under which she had been digging. The bottle had a wide mouth and most likely it once contained seltzer water or beer. Its round middle looked to have a diameter of about 5 inches, and as Allie held it up to the sun to see the inconsistencies in the glass, she guessed it to be around 8 to 10 inches in length. Tiny protruding glass bubbled numbers read 1921. Bootlegging, a voice said. Allie turned to face an old woman now just feet away. Her tiny dog gazed into space, its nose twitching to pick up a scent, its eyes clouded with cataracts. "Excuse me," Allie said. "My mother worked in a bootlegging operation during Prohibition," said the woman. "My father began the operation in 1921, after he was fired from the docks. But he died 3 years later. A safe fell on his head." "Like in the cartoons?" Allie said. The woman said nothing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be, mean. It's just that it seems a strange way to die, like when a safe falls on people's heads in cartoons." "I've seen cartoons," said the woman. "It's okay, dear. It was tragic, yes, but I admit, it was a rather cliché manner in which to go." Allie smiled. "What I meant to say," continued the woman, "is that a bottle might be from the old bootlegging operation. It was housed right in this park. Well, it wasn't parkland then. I live just a block away and still know people find trinkets and curiosities in the park to this day. Many times, they're just sticking out of the ground. I'm Evelyn." "I'm Allie." They shared a flimsy handshake, and Allie held the butt of her bottle up and pointed it towards Evelyn. "This is probably from your family's distillery. Look." She ran her finger under the 1921 stamp on the bottle and held it closer to Evelyn's face. "What is that?" said Evelyn. She squinted and looked at the bottle and inadvertently yanked the leaf she was holding. Allie heard the dog's nails scrape on the cement. "It says 1921, said Allie. "Isn't that the year your distillery opened?" "Yes, it is. Oh, but this isn't from my family." "What?" said Allie, inspecting the bottle as if it would prove the old woman wrong. "How can you tell?" "Bootleggers, for the most part, use cheap glass to save on expenses. I remember my mother dedicating part of the distillery solely for glass making. She had a furnace room and hired glassblowers to work day and night to make cheap bottles. We also started the first recycling program ever in the city. We didn't call it recycling then. We'd buy back our bottles for 2 cents or a swig of whiskey. The whiskey was actually swill that slopped over the tops of the vats. My uncle and his mothers would mop it up and then wring the mops into a bucket. Then they'd fill up the recycled bottles and sell swigs right over there." Evelyn pointed to a grove of eucalyptus trees. "Disgusting. That used to be an alley, if you can believe it." "Great," said Allie. She reached into her jacket pocket, pulled out a cell phone, and looked down at it. "But how do you know this isn't from your family's bottle? This isn't from your family's plant?" "Oh, was I boring you, my dear?" Allie. "Oh," said Allie, looking up for her phone. "No, not at all. I was just checking the time. It's really interesting, ungrateful little twit," said Evelyn. "Come along, Alexander." Allie heard the dog's nails again scrape across the pavement. "Evelyn, wait," said Allie. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. Your story was interesting. I'm interested, I swear." Allie walked in front of Evelyn, who halted Alexander with a yank. "Why on earth were you crawling around in the bushes like an animal after a glass bottle anyway?" said Evelyn. "I collect bottles. Well, I use them." "How on earth do you use bottles?" said Evelyn. "Wait. Oh, Lord. You don't know my grandson, do you? His name's Peter?" "I know a few Peters," said Allie. "What's his last?" "He works in the sex industry." Evelyn looked at the ground. "My granddaughter, she's a lovely girl, an executive in, oh, what was it? Oh, public relations, whatever that is." Allie stopped talking and stared at Evelyn. "And?" said Allie. "And what?" said Evelyn. "You were talking about your grandson and that your granddaughter?" "Oh yes, she's a lovely girl," said Evelyn. Allie sighed. "And? So anyway, she told me that her brother, my grandson, fashions bottles into," Evelyn looked around and leaned close to Allie, "self-gratification devices for women." Evelyn pulled away from Allie and looked at her with wide eyes. Her mouth was clamped shut, her lips dry with tight lines. "Oh my," said Allie, "that certainly is something." "Disgusting," said Evelyn. Allie bit her lip, looked at the ground, and moved a pebble with her boot. "You seem nice," said Evelyn. "I'd imagine you'd have much more practical use for something you'd go rooting around in the dirt after." "Actually, I do. I make terrariums." "And?" said Evelyn. "And what?" "Well, explain it to me, or am I supposed to know what a terrarium is?" said Evelyn. "It's a microcosm," Allie started. "Kind of a model of an ecosystem, all contained in the world within a bottle." Evelyn scrunched up her face, her wrinkles shot forth by the thousands. Oh, I know what it's like," said Allie. "It's like building a ship in a bottle. Whoever is building the ship in a bottle is trying to replicate as close as possible the real ship, but just on a smaller scale. I try to do the same thing with ecosystems or climates from around the planet, inside each bottle I find." "Good Lord," said Evelyn. "That sounds interesting. A strange way to spend your time, but interesting nonetheless." I think that's 6 minutes, so I'll stop there.